Hello, hello. Okay, today I want to talk about heart coherence. This is really, really important. One of the most important tools that you're going to have in your toolbox. I probably should have started my entire page on this, but things happen for a reason. So if you're here, welcome. Regardless of what it is you're looking for, whatever you're seeking, I hope that there's something here that will assist you in your journey. And if there's not, there are a million bazillion things out there to help you. So thank you for stopping by. But if this is something that is interesting to you, please let me know. I'm always curious if the work I'm doing is benefiting anyone. So if it is, please let me know. It inspires me to continue. I'm human just like you, and I have self-doubt. So a lot of times I'm not sure that what I'm doing is helpful and beneficial. And if I don't get any feedback, I may stop. Although lately I don't know who's out there watching, but I'm doing this because it's something that my body is telling me I have to do. And if it's just for myself and my own satisfaction, that's fine too. But the hope is that it's helping other people. So heart coherence is a really important, energetic allowing of your own self to take in the beautiful energy that exists for us, that is beneficial to us, and then we're extending it back out into the universe. It is, in my opinion, the most useful act of service we can do. Everything is energy. We are vibrational. Whether you know this or not, whether you've understood quantum physics and whether you've dabbled in it whatsoever at all, I say it like this: if you don't believe in gravity, you don't float away. Well, this is the same thing. If you don't believe that you're energetic, it doesn't change the fact that you are. However, understanding this energy and how it works can be very beneficial to you. So I want to encourage you to study it. If this is a new concept to you, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a really great book called Power versus Force by David Hawkins, who wrote an amazing book on this whole subject. And it, in my opinion, it was something I read years and years ago, and it blew my mind. And it was one of the early moments of realizing how important energy is. And it was actually a relief for me because I felt like I connected with that idea. And it was almost like, oh, thank goodness there's an explanation for this crazy feelings that I'm having all the time. So I encourage you to look that up and read that book. If you already know energy is energy, then we're moving forward. Heart coherence. It is a very simple thing. It is so simple it will blow your mind. So what it is it's not a meditation. It's not a relaxation technique. It is something that shifts your vibration to a higher vibration. So frequency, a really quick explanation here. Everything has a frequency. Every single thing, your emotion, your thought, every material item in the world, everything has a vibration. Sound, water, everything has a vibration and a frequency. Everything is a vibration and it has a frequency. And these things can be measured, most of them. There's science still working on the actual, I'm not going to go there. Just moving on. So frequency. Your thought, we're going to talk about our thoughts and we're only really responsible for our own frequency that we project. We're either projecting a frequency that is damaging and harmful to those around us and to ourselves, or we're projecting a frequency that is beneficial. So I don't know about you, but me personally, I want to take on that responsibility of this body I've been given, of this mind and this soul and this life that I have. It is my lifeblood. It is who I am to be responsible for what I'm projecting. So I've spent my life learning, how do I be the best, highest projector possible. Now I've been doing this for a really long time, and I still don't have it down pat. So I want to give you, encourage you that it's not going to happen overnight. Don't be hard on yourself. Allow yourself to take it in. And guess what? There's no one keeping score. You're the only one that keeps score. And if you throw away the scorecard, you're much better off. We have a built-in system that helps us know how we're doing. But please do not judge yourself or criticize yourself for anything. And when you're doing well, just love it. Be in gratitude for it, because it's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And if you're not doing it, if you're struggling, just be there with it, because it's totally okay, I promise you. We could spend hours just talking to you about that, but we're going to talk about heart coherence. So how do we raise our vibration so that we can feel good all the time, no matter what? Whether the water heater broke and flooded the house, or whether your boyfriend cheated on you, or whether your boss fired you or doesn't appreciate you, or some guy behind you in the car was honking at you when you were perfectly fine doing what you're doing, or somebody cuts you off in the road. These are the kinds of things that heart coherence can help us with. If we practice this all the time, not when we're in a state of struggle, but if we practice it first thing in the morning or right before bed, if we practice it on a regular basis, those other things stop affecting us, and we start moving into a place of unconditional love, which is, as most of us know, is the place to be. Now, growing up in my religion, we kind of got the idea that only Jesus could do that. Unconditional love is only for God. But Jesus was sent to show us how to live. We can have unconditional love. We can be unconditional love. Don't let that limit your understanding of things. It's why Jesus came. And if you're not religious, it's fine. This is not religion. Religion, that's a whole nother conversation. But whether you're religious or not, as I believe that my Bible was teaching this, it just, in the way it was presented to me, I never learned this. I had to leave my church to learn these things. And I believe they are completely connected and together with all of it. So we can talk about that another time if you want to, PM me. Heart coherence is very simple. So we are going to move into that. So our dominant feeling state is what determines our frequency at any given time. When we're feeling anxious, like right now I'm feeling a little excited and nervous that I'm going to talk too long, or that I'm going to say the wrong thing, and people aren't going to get, I'm noticing that I'm like in this state of, oh, I'm taking on so much responsibility for what I'm about to say to give to people. But that's a low energy. That anxiety and fear and nervousness is a low energy. So what I can do right now is I can say, okay, breathe. I can say, I'm going to go into a state of heart coherence, and I'm going to expand my energy and rise my frequency. And what that does is it allows me to be in communication with the infinite more easily. So the infinite is at a very high vibration. It is the energy that is all energies, that we are all connected to it. We are one with it. When we are closer to that higher frequency, that is that oneness, we can commune with it. And when we are communing with that, we are being our higher self. We are more clear about our desires. We can have our voice. We can do what we were sent to do. We are able to be in that state that we can accomplish the things we desire. So it's a word I like to use to describe that is alignment. When I speak of alignment, I'm talking about that alignment. So I am going to, this video here is talking about heart coherence. I'm going to do a separate video on the actual heart coherence, so that when you want to do this again and you need some practice, allowing yourself to be guided by a voice, I'm going to make a separate video, so you can just click on that video and get going. You don't have to listen to all this again. But it's really important that we understand that your brain and your heart are connected in such a powerful way. And if you look at the anatomy of the body, the heart is, hold on, I wrote some notes down here and I've lost them. Okay, so I found them. Your heart has the largest magnetic field in your body. It's also the strongest part of your body. So your heart's magnetic field is 5,000 times bigger than your brain's magnetic field. Most of us are thinking with our brain all the time. I'm not trying to say the brain is not useful. Oh my gosh, no. There is a unity going on here. We need our brain. Our brain is so powerful. It's amazing. It's awesome. It is a super highway. However, as you were growing up and experiencing life, your brain started believing things that were useful at that time. Don't go in the street, you're going to get killed. Don't touch the oven, you'll get burned. Don't talk back to your mother or you'll get spanked. Whatever it was for you. And what I'm trying to get at is, as you're growing up, fear dominates your world. Your parents are afraid of anything bad happening to you, and they then set all these rules and boundaries because they're afraid of you getting hurt, and they love you so much. They set up this little box for you to be in because they want you to be okay because they're afraid of anything bad happening to you. And so they then create fears in you to keep you in that box. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. It may be. It may not be, but if you can allow it to not be a bad thing, it's going to be easier for you. Just instead of being mad and resentful at your parents for what they did, just understand that they did it out of love, and they couldn't really do anything different because they didn't know any better. They loved you so much. Now, I parented my kids that way. And if I could do it over again, I'd probably do it a little differently, but then I'd have criticism from everybody. I actually do remember my sister-in-law criticizing me. Are you going to let your daughter go to the bathroom all by herself in a public place? And I was like, I don't want my daughter to be afraid of the bathroom. I don't want her to feel like going to the bathroom is a bad thing. I have a lot of stories about that, by the way. But anyway, I'm digressing. I could go off on a tangent. It's so exciting and fun to talk about these beautiful things. So basically, your heart and your brain work together. But most of us just use our brain. And we're going around our life, living our life from our brain. But here's the thing. When you bring your heart into it, some amazing stuff happens. So your heart is the power center. Most of us have shut our hearts down. Fear, we get hurt by somebody hurts us. Maybe we are, fall in love with someone and they reject us. We're going to close our heart. I'm never going to let someone hurt me again, so I'm going to shut my heart down. When we do that, we think we're protecting ourselves. But really what we're doing, we're disconnecting, pinching ourselves off from the deeper knowing of God, the universe, the energetic ball of everything that we are wanting to connect to. So to keep us from pinching ourselves off from that, we need to open up. So our heart is the power center. When we allow our heart to be open, it tells our brain stuff. And then our brain changes to be in alignment with our heart. And then our brain has the power to change our body. But when we're living in this life and we hear about this causes cancer, that causes cancer, don't do this, don't do this, oh, that's bad, this is bad, belief, belief, belief. If you don't do this, this is going to happen. We live in a state of fear, and our heart just doesn't have any power over our brain anymore. Now, it does, somewhat. But when we open up our heart and allow it to flood our brain, and then our brain is filled with all the good stuff that the universe knows, and then that can make our body function and change. It actually changes the DNA structure of your body. You can do anything you need to do. Your brain, your heart decides it wants it, but you have to allow it. That's what heart coherence is, opening up your heart to allow yourself to be in communion with the infinite. And then your brain can start changing. The infinite sends new messages to your brain, changes your brain. Your brain then changes your body. Anything is possible. Diet, health, nutrition, the way you look, the way you feel, what you think about. Very important, but we have to pay attention to what we're thinking about. It's a lot, but it's really simple. So it just doesn't seem like it at first, because we got to unravel the craziness that we've created in our brain. So this is the most beneficial, simple, profound thing you can have in your toolbox. Heart coherence, heart coherence. Okay, so we're going to end this video and we're going to do heart coherence. Thanks for being here. I've also have all of this information written down in the notes. If you go over to on the left side of your screen, if it's not pulled down, hit the more button, then click on notes, and there's notes on heart coherence in there, and there's also notes on the micro method, which we're going to get into next. The micro method is a way to remove our fears, to move from fear to love, which is really important, because all that stuff we learned as kids, how to be afraid of everything, we need to get rid of that, because that's not going to work for us. Our fears are limiting us, and we can't do the things that we want to do. So there's two sides of this. Heart coherence is opening and expanding your heart to allow us to commune with the infinite. The micro method is a meditation that is designed to help you manage when you're in a state of I'm really uncomfortable. This helps you move through that. So there's the micro method and the heart coherence. We're going to cover both of those in separate segments. So thank you for listening. And my goal is to help you discover who you are and to live from your higher self. Thank you for joining me.